It's the listening. It's what hears, what's behind.
What's behind the thoughts, what's behind the sense perceptions, what's behind all the experiences and the feelings and so on. So the question that I'm asking does not really require an abstract answer, but I want you to actually feel or sense inside yourself that which doesn't change. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, or who you're with, or whether the body is well or unwell. When I ask, you said it's I, and I've asked, what's the nature of that I? And now you may be stuck for words. But you said one word, and that was listening. Now, when you're truly listening, there is a certain alert spaciousness. Because otherwise you're not truly listening. And so if that had to be expressed through a gesture, it could be, you could raise a finger gently and say, listen. So I say to you, listen. And you listen, there's a moment of spacious awareness, and there's no thought in it. So when you said listening, you were actually getting very close to the nature of who you truly are underneath all the circumstances of your life. And circumstances includes thoughts and emotions. If you don't find that, who or what you are underneath all the circumstances, no matter how many questions you ask and how many good answers you get, won't help you very much, and there will be no end to the questioning, because every answer generates further questions. So we are talking about becoming familiar with a different state of consciousness. Not that that has never been there. It's always been there because it's the I, but it's always been overlooked. Because the circumstances, things that happen to you and your thinking and your emotions have such overwhelming pulling force that they always pull your attention in completely. And so attention is that which is there when you're truly listening. And in the moment of attention, there's no thinking, but there is an aware presence. So, the answer that you gave is absolutely right. Not everybody would have put it this way, but listening points to who you truly are, underneath all the things that continuously change. Now, I'd like you to, as we speak, this is not an intellectual discussion, because if this were intellectual, you should have gone to a professor of philosophy or some intellectual at a university.
I've been over there.
And ultimately, you get many answers, but all those answers will always make you end up with more questions.
Yeah.
Because they don't get you to the core of who you are. So let's start off with that. And what we are pointing to is a sense of I, of beingness, that is deeper than anything that happens in your life. It's always there, has always been there, right now. And that is closely related to the state of attentive listening, to get in touch with that, to sense it. Underneath it all, there is a timeless presence. Even in 50 years' time, in 60 years' time, when this body is getting old, And this body, the cells, it won't be the same body. The cells of the body will have been renewed many times. There won't be a single cell. Materially, there won't be a single thing that's left in 50 years, even though you may still be alive. There won't be a single thing that's left materially that's here now. Every cell will have been renewed. And so the body will have grown older, and yet something timeless deep within will still be exactly the same as it is now, untouched by time. I, before it becomes this or that, because the moment you say, I am American, I am this or that, I am a professional, or I am a jobless person, or I am a millionaire, or I'm a homeless person, that's all form, identifications with changing circumstances. And so people look for something there to provide permanency in their lives. They want to identify with something that they finally can say, there, that's it. I found it. What they really want to say is, I found myself, finally. So they look for themselves through external possessions, through acquired knowledge, through an accumulation of experiences, or sexual encounters. Some people derive their sense of self from that. The more women you can conquer or seduce or have sex with, the more you feel, oh, I'm getting somewhere. Of course, after a few years you realize it's not getting you anywhere. Not if you are, nothing will get you anywhere, which means to yourself, if you're looking for yourself in any experience. And that's the fallacy of most people. They look for themselves in changing circumstances. They look for themselves in their thought processes. They identify with their thoughts and opinions and their judgments and this and that. And it changes. Your opinions may change. You may be a Democrat now, and in 50 years' time, when you become a solid citizen, you may be become a Republican. You have a completely different set of opinions. It's just different set of opinions, and then you feel like the thoughts have changed, but the underlying I hasn't changed. So can you go through life being in touch with that? Being in touch with that in the different situations, different circumstances, different places, so that you're not completely lost in the things. I sometimes call it the thingness of life, one thing after another. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you haven't found yourself yet, if you don't know what that I is, then you're looking for the I in things. And things include your thinking, because every thought is also a formation. It has a certain form, a thought form. It comes and then it goes. Every emotion, it comes, it's an energy field inside you, it comes, has a certain lifespan, and then it subsides, and then another one comes. That's all the thingness of life. It's forms that come and go all the time. The only thing that doesn't come and go is I. That which underlies all that. And that's not an intellectual thing that I'm trying to convince you of, because that would not be helpful. The question is, at this moment, can I sense the presence that I am, that is prior to anything that happens to me or has ever happened or can ever happen